The world around us is filled with beauty and wonder, but beneath this vibrant tapestry, there exists a darker side to humanity. In this series we venture into the unsettling realm of cults, those enigmatic groups that have captivated and horrified the world. From isolated communes to seemingly ordinary suburbs, these organizations have thrived in the shadows, drawing followers with promises of enlightenment, salvation, or even extraterrestrial intervention. But beneath the veneer of community and purpose often lies a chilling reality of exploitation, violence, and death. Join us now as we journey into the hearts and minds of 6 of history's most disturbing cults, examining the factors that led to their rise and the tragic consequences that ultimately unfolded. In the heart of the Guyana jungle, a remote settlement named Jonestown became synonymous with tragedy and despair. Here, under the absolute control of the charismatic yet deeply troubled leader Jim Jones, the People's Temple would meet its end. Jones, a man who preached a message of racial equality and social justice, had cultivated a devoted following in San Francisco before relocating his community to the isolation of Guyana. He claimed to offer a utopia, a sanctuary from the evils of the outside world, but paradise soon transformed into a prison. Jones's behavior grew increasingly erratic, his sermons laced with paranoia and threats of external enemies. Then, on November 18, 1978, the unthinkable occurred. Over 900 men, women and children under Jones's direct orders ingested cyanide-laced Flavor Aid, a chilling testament to the power of persuasion and the depths of human despair. The Jonestown massacre remains a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the seductive allure of charismatic leaders who prey on the vulnerable. In the quiet suburbs of Rancho Santa Fe, California, a group calling themselves Heaven's Gate prepared for a journey beyond the stars. Led by Marshall Applewhite, a former music teacher with a messianic complex, they believed that Earth was about to be recycled and that the only way to escape was to shed their physical bodies and ascend to a higher plane of existence. Applewhite, known to his followers as Dew, preached a bizarre gospel of UFOs, extraterrestrial beings, and a coming apocalypse. He convinced his followers that they were not human at all, but rather evolutionary vessels destined to evolve into a higher form. The group lived a highly regimented life, adhering to strict dietary restrictions, wearing identical clothing and severing all ties with the outside world. In March 1997, as the Hale-Bopp comet blazed across the night sky, Applewhite convinced his followers that their time had come. He persuaded 39 members to commit suicide, believing that their souls would be transported to an alien spacecraft trailing the comet. The Heaven's Gate tragedy serves as a chilling reminder of the seductive power of belief and the dangers of surrendering critical thinking to charismatic leaders. The name Charles Manson evokes a visceral reaction, conjuring images of a charismatic madman and the brutal crimes committed by his devoted followers. In the summer of 1969, Manson, a failed musician with a warped ideology, orchestrated a series of murders that shocked the world and exposed the dark underbelly of the counterculture movement. Manson, a master manipulator, assembled a group of disaffected young people, mostly women, drawn to his charisma and promises of a utopian society. He preached a twisted gospel of racial war which he called helter-skelter, and convinced his followers that they were destined to be the chosen few who would inherit the earth after the apocalypse. Under Manson's influence, the group, known as the Family, embarked on a spree of violence, culminating in the brutal murders of actress Sharon Tate and several others. The Manson family case remains a chilling reminder of the dangers of unchecked charisma and the seductive power of a charismatic leader. It serves as a stark warning about the dark side of human nature and the potential for violence that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly peaceful movements. Chapter 4. Aum Shinrikyo, Terror in the Name of God. In the heart of Tokyo, a seemingly innocuous group known as Aum Shinrikyo, meaning Supreme Truth, would rise from obscurity to become one of the world's most feared terrorist organizations. Led by the enigmatic and partially blind Shoko Asahara, the group combined elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, and apocalyptic Christianity, with Asahara's own bizarre pronouncements. Asahara, who claimed to be the reincarnation of Buddha and Jesus Christ, preached a message of impending doom, warning of a coming apocalypse that only his followers could survive. He attracted a diverse following, including scientists, engineers, and doctors, drawn to his charisma and promises of spiritual enlightenment. However, beneath the veneer of spirituality lay a sinister undercurrent. Asahara's teachings grew increasingly bizarre and violent, advocating for the need to cleanse the world of non-believers. On March 20, 1995, Aum Shinrikyo unleashed its terror upon the Tokyo subway system. Members released sarin gas, a deadly nerve agent, on crowded commuter trains, killing 13 people and injuring thousands more. The attack sent shockwaves through Japan and the world, exposing the terrifying reach of religious extremism. The Aum Shinrikyo attack serves as a chilling reminder that terrorism can emerge from even the most unexpected places. Chapter 5. Branch Davidians Fire in Waco. In the rolling hills outside Waco, Texas, a religious sect known as the Branch Davidians, led by the enigmatic David Koresh, found themselves at the center of a deadly standoff with federal authorities. The siege, which lasted for 51 days, would culminate in a fiery inferno, claiming the lives of Koresh and nearly 80 of his followers, including 25 children. Koresh, a charismatic but deeply troubled individual, preached a message of apocalyptic prophecy and claimed to be the final prophet of God. He exerted absolute control over his followers, demanding unquestioning obedience and enforcing a strict code of conduct. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms raided the Branch Davidian compound on February 28, 1993, suspecting the group of stockpiling illegal weapons. The raid went tragically wrong, resulting in a firefight that left 4 ATF agents and 6 Branch Davidians dead. A tense standoff ensued, with the FBI taking over the operation. Negotiators tried to persuade Koresh and his followers to surrender, but Koresh refused, claiming that God had instructed him to remain inside the compound. On April 19, 1993, the FBI launched a tear gas assault on the compound, hoping to force the Branch Davidians out. However, a fire erupted inside the building, engulfing it in flames. Chapter 6. The People's Temple, a Twisted Gospel. The People's Temple, led by the enigmatic Jim Jones, began with noble intentions, preaching a message of racial equality and social justice in 1950s Indianapolis. Jones, a charismatic orator, attracted a diverse following, offering a haven for those marginalized by society. However, over time his teachings took a dark turn, evolving into a twisted gospel of control, manipulation, and ultimately, death. Jones, driven by a messianic complex and a growing paranoia, demanded absolute obedience from his followers. He instilled fear and dependency, isolating his flock from the outside world and branding any dissent as an act of betrayal. Seeking to escape scrutiny and maintain his grip on power, Jones relocated his followers to a remote settlement in Guyana, which he christened Jonestown. This supposed utopia, however, became a prison camp, where Jones reigned supreme, his word absolute law. On November 18, 1978, the world watched in horror as the nightmare of Jonestown unfolded. Under Jones's direct orders, over 900 men, women, and children ingested a cyanide-laced drink, a chilling testament to the power of cult control and the devastating consequences of blind obedience. The Jonestown massacre remains a haunting reminder of the dangers of unchecked power, the seductive allure of charismatic leaders, and the fragility of human autonomy in the face of manipulation and fear. The Enduring Shadow. As we've journeyed through the unsettling histories of these 6 cults, we've encountered a common thread: the human need for belonging, purpose, and meaning. These groups, however twisted their ideologies, offered a sense of community and certainty in an often chaotic world. But this allure came at a terrible price: the surrender of individuality, critical thinking, and ultimately, freedom. The legacy of these cults serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of human autonomy and the ever-present potential for manipulation and exploitation. It underscores the importance of critical thinking, questioning authority, and fostering open dialogue. By understanding the factors that contribute to cult formation and the psychological hold they exert, we can better equip ourselves and our communities to recognize and resist the allure of such dangerous ideologies. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more unsettling stories.